I don't know.
After your masturbation,
I want to watch it if remember Mark? I remember baby, right?
I remember my
They got engaged on
And show thy face and bid us hail the dawn of grace. Now divine Messiah, the world in silence waits the day when all shall sing His triumph and send us peace away.
First one.
Come, divine Messiah, the world in silence waits the day when hope shall sing His triumph and send us peace away.
The gates of heaven were opened for blessed Stephen, who was found.
people. But then, certain people came forward to debate with Stephen. Some from Cyrene in Alexandria, who were members of the synagogue called the Synagogue of Freedmen, and others from Cilicia and Asia. They found they could not get the better of him because of his wisdom, and because it was the Spirit that prompted what he said. They were infuriated when they heard this and ground their teeth at him. But Stephen, filled with the Holy Spirit, gazed into heaven and saw the glory of God and Jesus standing at God's right hand. I can see heaven thrown open, he said, and the Son of Man standing at the right hand of God. At this, all the members of the council shouted out and stopped their ears with their hands. Then they all rushed at him, sent him out of the city, and stoned him. The witnesses put down their clothes at the feet of a young man called Saul. As they were stoning him, Stephen said in invocation, "Lord Jesus, receive my spirit." Then he knelt down and said aloud, "Lord, do not hold this sin against them." And with these words, he fell asleep. Saul, and highly approved of the killing. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Beware of men, they will hand you over to Sanhedrins and scourge you in their synagogues. You'll be dragged before governors and kings for my sake, to bear witness before them and the pagans. But when they hand you over, do not worry about how to speak or what to say. What you are to say will be given to you when the time comes, because it is not you who will be speaking. The Spirit of your Father will be speaking in you. Brother will betray brother to death, and the father his child. Children will rise against their parents and have them put to death. You will be hated by all men on account of my name, but the man who stands firm to the end will be safe. And this, my dear friends, is the good news of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Say, wait until I get back at you one day. Yeah. Why? Because that's human nature. Human nature is that we do not like to be put down, that we sometimes can seek vengeance for the wrong done to us. But you know what? We must now overcome that human nature and put on another nature, which is the nature of Christ. the nature that is divine. So Stephen actually shows us how in those situations where he was persecuted by his enemies, that he prayed for them and he would say, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. I was at the funeral mass of that very sad case of the young man who was killed in the and I think he probably will not have a peaceful night at all. And to pray that we also have the grace to forgive him. Intentional or not, we do not know. I'm sure it was not intentional. He made a mistake, and that mistake was a costly mistake for others. To overcome those instincts in us where we tend to want to fight back when we are cornered. And it's never easy because maybe there's something of a built-in survival instinct in every one of us. When your life is threatened, you're cornered, you will fight back like a bear that is cornered.
And many things have happened during that pilgrimage, and it touches many of us, and we've done our sharings and we remember. And then I think there's a lot of
Mercy's pilgrimage in Rome and everything, having compassion and roots. I think it's amazing, and I'm very grateful for that.
Don't move away first. Sister Angela and Sister Janet, they are here to join us this evening because remember we shared about our Myanmar mission. So, and then some of us could be.
It is not 50 years old, okay, but I don't more candles and no space. I won't tell you his age, okay?
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
I follow your pilgrimage to all the beautiful photos and the beautiful faces I saw. And then last month, just to say, I had to give a little sharing in an interreligious group on sacred rendezvous. The topic was pilgrimages in different religions. So Buddhist, Muslim, what is the other one? Sikh and Christian. So I had to do that part on Christian pilgrimage. So I say, just nice lah. I got hold of your group photo. As a concrete example of Christian pilgrimage. So you see, you were shown in that assembly.
Wow. We are famous.
famous.
Yeah, famous.
But I got permission lah. I asked Lawrence.
Hey, Lawrence, you never asked.
I asked Gordon.
Yours big time.
Okay. All right. So Gabriel came also because he's a volunteer. He has been to our Canossa home for 3 times already. Gabriel, so we're very happy. So this is you know Myanmar lah. So we are down here in Rangoon, Yangon now it's called, and our home is in the south. Okay. We also the girls come from villages and the children also all over. So after training them, they are sent to different parts of Myanmar. This is the one who started our founders in Magdalene of Canossa. Okay. So Canossa home. Who do you see there?
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's the mother there. Okay. What I mean, the mother to all these 22 children in our home, and every year we have 20 over educators. This year 23, right? And then some others who are in the team with Sister. That is Sister Teresa of Provincial who went to visit. This beautiful home was designed by a Singapore architect. What's his name?
Herbert Han.
He gave his services
Holy Cross.
So that's why it's so beautiful, you see. I say, my goodness, what a beautiful building. Okay, next. Okay, this is what Sister Angela has been doing. You know that she was principal for so many years. So she designed this formation of educators course. You want to say anything? So you see, 10-month training, basic course. From 2008 she started. So this is the 9th batch. So these are the educators. So those things that you all donate or we get, like caps, we bring there, and then we do an activity, make them draw the cap and all that, These are the educators under training. These are volunteers. This is a group of M3 volunteers going there to train them. You can say what are these girls from there?
Yeah. Back in the boarding houses, they take care of children. They also teach them. So one of the lessons that we would like to help them in teaching it well would be the catechism, the faith education, because they're quite strong in their faith. So early in the morning, she will start with faith education. The other girl also.
This is in Michina, right?
Michina, yeah. And then some help in kindergartens, because the objective of this formation of educators course is to empower them. These young girls, many of them did not pass the 10th standard. 10th standard is something like after O level, but not equivalent. They are left in the villages to feed pigs and cook and see to some little household chores. But when we brought them down to empower them with skills, with English, with a set curriculum, they went back more prepared to raise the standard of care and also to tutor the children. Yeah.
And also they learn English, and all play musical instruments and all that. They are very, very musical.
They play the guitar.
Yeah. So we already trained 200 educators, and they spread all over, So every year there's one batch of children. So touch the lives of about 4,000 children. in 73 boarding houses run by the Catholic Church. Either the priests or the nuns, the local sisters, run these more than 500 boarding houses for poor children from villages and orphans. Okay, next. So this is the present batch lah. Sister Angela's darling son.
They came from remote villages, very far away. They had take days to travel up the mountain, across the river. But they come from areas where they are very frightened. Some of them don't speak the Burmese language dialects. And some are in IDP camp, refugee camps, in Michina. But they are brave enough to say, let me come up and do something. And that one of them said, next year I will send my sister out of the IDP camp to come here too. So there's courage, and perseverance. Now they can smile, but before they were very frightened.
Yeah, when they first come out, always like, very shy.
My name is, and they will cry.
Yeah. So these are just shots of some of the children.
Sorry.
So Sister Angela giving them lesson, the educator teaching them, telling them stories. So we bring a lot of English story books. Their uniform can be any fashion, provided it's green and white. This is the second-hand pickup that we have. When volunteers come, small groups of pile them all into the pickup. But no, when you come, we will charter. I also cannot climb up down the pickup nowadays.
Magdalene has a blouse like that.
Oh my God.
Okay, these are volunteers, you see.
Yeah,
They come also with their children, to do painting. Look at this. This is a French family teaching in.
I don't know why it's done.
You might auto, I think, because anyway, these are volunteers teaching, training, painting, playing games with the children, training. Like this is Teresa Go, M3. The M3 is a group formed in Singapore of our ex-pupils and friends. Lawrence and Matt are part of this group, but they form a specialized group called Papango. Okay, next. Keep you too long. Next one. This give you an idea. When we run children's camps, at first they will say 200 children, but when we reach there, 50 or 100 more will come. So we just have to improvise and make sure that we have enough things. The last camps, as many as 700. Wow. They all rough it out, all sleep on the floor. Then of course must get a team of cooks cook simple food for them. They are also happy. And the beautiful thing is when the Buddhists hear about it, they also want to join. So some camps we also have Buddhist children. So because a lot of activities is for everybody, on basic values.
And the camp is how many days?
Camps depending
Usually at least 3 days. At least 3 days. So they have activities. Then the last night will be a Rara night, celebration night. Mac and Lawrence always experience that beautiful night when they put out items and campfire.
But we also run next one leadership camps for youth. So this is Sister Jack, wearing pants and blouse, because over there some of our sisters, when they go to these villages and all that, they wear lay clothes, not to, because especially Buddhist areas. Also, we are foreigners now, we are not the local people. So, this is a youth camp. See, very simple now, sit on the grass, they all, no big deal. You see that? Just put up a tent.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
Yeah. Bible sharing.
Stop it, Mom. Please stop it.
Yeah.
Start it.
Okay. Next one. Next time you also help us to run activities, play games,
Yes.
Then Christmas cheer is another thing. Very simple. The group just goes and run games and so on. It's the first time some of them get these balloon sculpturing, so they are so happy. The little kids, and give them good meal, because normally their meal is rice, vegetables in the villages. Sister Angela has tried to improve the diet.
We give them at least meat once a week, and then fish once a week, and eggs twice a week. Then for some poorer ones, that they're very young children, we give them milk on Saturdays. So we added these supplements.
So when we have camps, we give them better food lah. You see, they're all very happy. Christmas cheer. Yeah, Joseph is one of our CJC ex-pupils. He's the leader. And this last one, they went to about 10 villages down, in the south. Quite tough lah. You all don't need to go around these villages because some of them have to go to
Delta
small
region.
boats. Yeah,
Tough.
and remote villages.
Tough.
Yeah. Okay, next. So these are some of the projects, caring for body and soul, because their kitchens are still like our olden days kampong, so they use a lot of plywood. So improving the kitchen, the shelves for their homes, the toilets especially, they still have this what we used to have and then they normally sleep on the floor. So in our home, we built these double-decker beds. Yeah. Next, Sister Angela,
This one in the year 2009, Sister Janet, myself, and one of our Kenoshan Hindu trainer. She's Hindu, but she's joined us in our training as our ex-pupil. We went to help 165 catechists in Nichina and Banmo. They all traveled down to this place called Eden, stayed there, and we had a catechist camp. And the catechists do a lot of work. Because of the remote villages, the priest cannot reach. So the catechists will do the praying, they call it dry mass, communion services and all that. So we did the training for them and they were very happy. As a follow-up, we also get a set of books called the How to Faith books and help them to translate. Give them the method and they have finished 4 levels by now.
you have to go. Kayla, go for
Thank you. Very interesting mission. Yeah, I will volunteer to go.
All right. You must come out because
Thank you. Merry Christmas. The Charis has supported in your building. Yes. When they say cannot say, sister, sure, approve.
Thank you, Father. He's in the Charis. So they help us to build our home, So this, you see this mommy, she couldn't leave her baby, so brought a baby along also.
Yeah, maybe on her lap, and then she listened to the talks.
So sister helped them to design a set of catechism books, and then continue go up again to train
For 2 more sessions. So they are the ones asking for 1 more session, to help them. Because you see, with catechesis, the other area that is very useful will be the liturgy of the word. Because these young children, the sermons are at least 1.5 hours long. Because the priests take the occasion to catechize the parishioners during the Sunday Mass. So they come and they sit for a long time. So these children in boarding houses are always subjected to long homilies and very traditional way of teaching catechism. So we teach our young ladies, we teach them in an interactive way. Then one other area that we can offer to them is catechism, catechesis that are more that includes life experience, and how they could integrate faith and life. So I was talking to Gordon, and Gordon has volunteered Brandon.
young people going just now.
Somebody else.
Tell them about the 3 fruits.
The 3 fruits are actually from the Papango group. They have this young group, university students. They actually in their 3rd or 4th year, undergrads, English undergrads. They did a great job. Recently they were up in Yangon and Akanasako. So they planned English lessons, phonics, world knowledge, and one of them, who is a Muslim, shared the comparative religions of the world.
Muslim also.
So it is young people have a lot of ideas. They're very creative and very passionate when they teach. And when they teach very well. I also had sit down and listen. The methodology, suddenly new words came up. I learned 3 ways, they have 5 ways now. So it is very good that we involve our young people.
They're very keen. That's the 3rd time.
They are correct. 3rd time, yes.
So there's the village, just now it's a village, right?
Yeah, village boarding house. But the children are not well taken care of because of poverty. So we try to improve the standards by giving them better food and also see to some of the basic needs.
So this is our community of sisters. Now very, very nice. We have, besides our 4 sisters from Singapore, Sister Kalista, she was 25 years in East Africa. After being principal of our secondary school, she volunteered for East Africa, 25 years, then came back now in Myanmar, Sister Kalista, my contemporary. Then Sister Marian, Sister Jack, Singapore, Sister, of course, Angela. This sister in the middle is from East Timor, Sister Joanna. She's a missionary. She already learned Myanmar language. Then we are so blessed to have 2 young Myanmar sisters. They are vocations, that came. This one, Antonia, I met her the first time in 1996 when I went up to Damji. And she was still a young girl, like what sister said, the parish priest told her, you all finished your standard 10 already, okay, go and take care of the children. So they don't know anything, just go and take care of the children like that. No? So she has been following us and helping sister as a
translator. I teach in English, she translates.
So now she is a sister.
And then it's very good to have our own local sister, because the children in the home, one day when they saw this sister coming back, one of them ran up to her and said, you see, you have to pass 10 standard, that means a high level exam, then you can wear this dress. So clever, they're thinking.
So this is Antonia and this is Sister Hazel. The latest one, she made her vows only on the 8th of December.
Wow.
Yeah. We have 3. One more, Maria. So Maria, she's here in Singapore doing preschool training, 2 years. Because sister has plans lah.
Yeah.
Plan.
Plans for our kindergarten. Plans up to kindergartens. Yeah.
Next one, okay. So maybe you would like to know, what are our friends, how in what way our friends are involved.
Yeah. So
Sorry, can you go back?
Okay.
Yeah. So for some of you, you're doing a lot of work already. You could be our praying partner. Some might want to volunteer to teach the educators. The educators are in Yangon, in our training house. So we will look at the program that you can offer that can align to our curriculum. Then catechist training up in Michina, they've always been crying out because it's 165. Now they have a smaller group, it's a whole school. You can carry on to help them deepen their faith. Conduct camps for children and youth. That's once or twice a year. Usually during the summer camp, their summer in April is very hot, so most of them go to camp. So that could be coordinated. Our Christmas cheer is also one off, during the December holidays. If you would like to contribute to our education and religious formation, that's to sponsor a child is 500. To sponsor an educator is 800 for a year. And then financial assistance for poor children and youth. The poor children and youth, usually we give them food program. Like Papango, they contribute to eggs and food. So like 100 a month, 150 from the church we converted to the boarding house to tell the educator to buy eggs and milk for the children. Fundraising for livelihood and special projects. If you have good ideas, we teach them to rear pigs. If you have good ideas where we could think of some other livelihood projects, and you would like to come and show them how to do it. Because sustenance level is very low, we need to teach them, so that they can carry on. So these are some of the things. And our latest is the vocational center that we have up in Yaoshi, which we are training them to for their hospitality life. So we have two of our educators trained, one for restaurant, one for housekeeping. The third one is doing front office. Then the one for housekeeping is now doing an attachment internship in Concord Hotel for 6 months. And when they go back, they will teach the poor orphans. So we need to give them skills so that they can go out to the job market and do something well. At the same time, those who are at a lower level, just line staff. The better ones, we want to help them do the middle range where they can help train others. Because now they have to look towards training their own people. So if you are a trainer, and the gardener, trainers, that kind, play games with them, and team games, and help them think. And they find it very hard to think. After thinking, they become very tired because their education system don't help them to think. Any customer,
You learn all by
all
heart.
by heart, poor thing. So when the minute they start to think, after that they're very tired. But after a while, they get used to it. Yeah? So that team bonding games and why they do what they do, and then we teach them. Then they get very enthused, and they are also people who are very grateful. And it's one group of people. When you talk, they listen.
Very
Even the children also, they all hold their hand, but they listen. They really are hungry for knowledge. Yeah.
So Gabriel, for example, what did you teach this last November? You went?
Oh, I actually went up there and teach them how to do painting. So it starts from cleaning the wall, deciding, teaching them how to work out a budget. The area that they want to pay, what type of paint to select. And before going out, how much money do you need to prepare? I ask them. So get them to start thinking and help them to come up with the formulas, to work out how much paint they need to buy and therefore how much money they need. And then goes on to the practical where they scrape the walls, they really wash the walls, scrape the walls, clean it up, and then when it's dry, we teach them to roll and to paint with the different brushes. Yeah.
What else you also did? Yeah.
We also had other trainers which train them to do housekeeping, for example, take care of the place that they stay, to clean the floor. We saw that they were actually, after they were eating on the desk, they actually just sweep it on the floor. So sister was saying that they had maids that would come, in the villages. So the maids were the dogs.
Chickens.
So we observed they were actually doing that. So yeah, and then we taught them that actually you shouldn't do that. You should just take a cloth and really clean the area itself and not sweep it on the floor. So we teach them how to do proper cleaning, how to sweep the floor from one area to the other area. So systematically, so it was a systematic approach to housekeeping as well.
Gardening.
We also have gardening, so teach them to do gardening, to plant fruits and so on that they can use.
Grooming.
We also have personal grooming. So teach them conversational English. Also very much in line with the hospitality vocational institute that we wanted them to go. So it's conversational English in settings of like in the restaurants, and also the grooming. They're grooming and how to speak confidently. How to dress well, how proper.
How to walk.
How to walk, how to speak with confidence. Yeah, and they actually, I think they grew a lot of confidence through those trainings. Yeah. They enjoy it very much as well.
SOP also.
Yeah.
Also, you did SOP.
Yeah, we did SOP, fire especially.
Fire, yeah.
And then how they should respond to it. And this whole area, this team is actually helping them to know the skills so that they can empower the children to work together. Otherwise, when I visit boarding houses, big layer of algae, black strips everywhere. It's like didn't clean for a long time, and nobody bothers about it. So once they do it regularly after the rain is terrible there, they really destroy a lot of things. It will be much better.
Yeah, and sister's formula is not to do the job for them, but really to teach them. Yeah, so that they can go back to the boarding houses and teach the children and maintain the boarding houses.
Very cute, the children when they go back to the villages, some of them they are from poor families, then they will clean their own little houses, and clean,
and organize also. They got all their neighbors together and they say, finish breakfast, you do this, you carry water, you chop wood. They form their teams because they learn from us.
So,
So like the fire drill, I mean, they were very appreciative because they said they didn't know how to react, and they didn't know how to react and how to behave and so on. So we actually had a few rounds of fire drill, and the last one we did was.
So this gardener has a formula of using turmeric powder and detergent, dishwashing detergent with water. So the formula according to how much, and then they shake it and they use that to kill the caterpillars.
Okay, so we also, I think Gordon saw me, right, at Agape Village, you saw us, and we also go to churches, OLPS and so on, for fundraising, selling rosaries, jade bead and all that. It's part of the livelihood project, because they also want to do something, you see, to to help themselves. Oh, so thank you very much for your attention and giving us this time.
Any one of you is interested in the catechesis, catechetical training. I mean, you don't need many, but maybe 3 or 4 as a team if you're interested. Father Liu is in charge. He said, Sister, in September, some of your friends can come and can rough it out. They stay with me and then teach all my catechists. But his group will be about 40, 50. So if you're interested, we could do that. But Myitkyina is high up. So the plane from Yangon to Myitkyina is like going to Singapore, 2.5 hours. That is the thing.
Start with Yangon first.
So if anyone is good
That's not wrong.
this catechesis training.
That's not wrong.
Jojo.
When in doubt.
Okay, one more.
Call Joyce. Call Joyce. Joyce, lady.
No, I helping her learning.
Okay,
I have helpers upon helpers.
Everybody, I don't know.
Did you keep my gift properly?
Of course. I don't know.
Because if you don't keep it properly, you won't play.
No, this one. I want the cake. I want the cake. I don't want the cake. I don't mind the
Okay.
Is that?
Thank you very much.
You want
Yeah,
Chinese
super
tonight?
Yeah. Okay, there's a Catholic joke that Michael wants to share.
Okay.
Alright, you gotta wait until we get our present.
Let me get this.
After we laugh, we get our present now.
Let me get this.
There's a cookie go with it.
Hey, I got the doggy. Thank you. Sweet of you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
That's what I wanted. Okay, coffee.
Oh, I get one too. Wow. Yeah, I think this one. The more masculine color. I don't know. All the same. Oh, pastry.
Enjoying life,
Pastry.
You like the Christmas tree so much.
The very soul rejoices.